everyone, welcome to the new session of solid state. In this session I will be explaining you about packing efficiency and about density. Okay, so let's start without wastage of time. So in this we will see first is packing efficiency. Now what is the meaning of packing efficiency is actually the percentage of total space filled by the particles. Okay, now here the particles means, if you remember that, let's say that this is our a cube, okay, and this is my atom. So we know that if we arrange them, there is some empty space which is remaining inside. Now that empty space was called as void. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to calculate the packing efficiency, which is basically volume occupied by this sphere marked in yellow divided by total volume of this cube. Okay, now first thing, first structure that we are seeing is HCP or CCP, or you can also say FCP, that is face center. So if you see that this is AB length, let's assume that this length is A. Okay, so if this is AB, which is A length, B to C is again A length. So the distance from A to C by Pythagoras theorem will be root 2A. Okay, so basically this diagonal AC is having a distance of root 2A, which is actually equals to 4r. Here r is the radius of this sphere. Okay, why it is 4r? Because if I start from here, I covered one distance r, I covered another distance r, another distance r, and another distance r. So if you draw the diagonal, we see that there are 4 radius are equal to this length of this diagonal. Okay, so this is your FCP, that is face center close packing. Okay, because this is present in the center of the face. So if you join the diagonal, you get that root 2a is equals to 4r. Now, as I explained, packing efficiency is what is the total space filled by the particle. So basically, space occupied by the particle divided by total unit volume. Okay, so volume occupied by 4 spheres in the unit cell. Why it is 4 spheres? The reason is, in case of HCP, CCP, or FCP, sorry, there are 4 spheres inside. Okay, if you do not get this part, please refer to the previous lesson. Okay, there it is given, divided by total volume of the unit cell. Okay, and multiplied with 100, because we are calculating packing efficiency in terms of percentage, so that's why we are multiplying it with 100. You can also find packing efficiency in terms of fraction. If you find it in terms of fraction, the answer or result will be between 0 to 1. So in this case, when you put the values here, so it will be simply 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by a cube into 100, and use this relation to cancel out a or r. What you will get is packing efficiency is 74%. Okay, so this was about your packing efficiency in face center. So this is an atom or particle. These are all atoms or particle, can be ions also, which are the forming main structure of your crystal lattice. Let's look at the next part of it. So next scenario is packing efficiency in simple cubic lattice. In simple cubic lattice, if you remember, I explained that if this is your cubic unit cell, okay, the atoms are present only in the corners. Okay, so there is, in total there is only one atom present, but each atom is sharing 1/8 of its part. Okay, so here the relation between A and R, where A is the edge length, that is, you can say E to D. Okay, that length is equals to 2r. Reason is, from E to this point is r radius, and from the middle point to this is r again. So 2r is equals to your edge length A. Again, use the same formula of packing efficiency is equals to volume occupied by, here it should be 1 sphere, okay, not 4, 1 sphere in the unit cell divided by total volume of the unit cell into 100. Okay, again 100 is for getting in terms of percentage. So if you solve this, okay, and use this relation to cancel out a and r, you get your packing efficiency as 52.4%. Okay, so this was your PCC, that is simple cubic or primitive simple cubic lattice. In the same way, we will try for body centered cubic structure, that is BCC structure. Now, BCC is a little bit complicated because we know that the atoms are present at the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 atoms are there altogether. This is the eighth one. So, it is actually the three-dimensional diagonal. Okay. So, in order to calculate this length of this diagonal, what we do actually, we first calculate this B here. Okay. This B is the two-dimensional diagonal. So if this is A, this length is A, okay, you apply Pythagoras theorem in triangle FED and you calculate B as root 2A. Okay. Now, if you know that this is root 2A, this height is A. Okay. Again, this angle here is 90 degree. Okay. Angle FDA is 90 degree again. So you can again apply your Pythagoras theorem in order to calculate this C. Okay, so this is A, this is root 2A. If you apply Pythagoras theorem, that is C square is equals to A square plus B square. You get the value of C as root 3A. Okay, so that is your C value, root 3A. And as we have joined the diagonals, we see that the root 3A should also equals to 1 radius, second radius, third radius, fourth radius. So root 3A is actually equals to 4r. Okay, so this is the relationship between edge length A and the particle, or let's say sphere radius r, or also you can say ionic radius or atomic radius. Okay, because these are the main parts of your lattice, okay, or atoms or ions. Again, packing efficiency will be volume occupied by two spheres. Cancel this 4. Okay, so this is actually volume occupied by two spheres in the unit cell divided by total volume of the unit cell into 100. If you use this relation to cancel out things, you get the packing efficiency as 68%. Okay. So this was all about the packing efficiency. If you see, you should remember this value, that packing efficiency in HCP, CCP, FCP is 74%. Okay. In case of simple cubic lattice, it is 52.4%. And in case of body centered structure, BCC structure, the packing efficiency is 68%. Now, if you know packing efficiency is 68%, you can also calculate the percentage of void space. So void space will be simply 100 minus 68. You get void space in case of BCC is 32%. So just 100 minus packing efficiency gives you the void space present. Okay, that is the empty space present inside a cubic lattice. So after knowing all this packing efficiency, we can also calculate, or we can also comment on the density. Okay, so now we are doing the calculation involving unit cell dimensions, okay, for density. So here we will try to calculate density. So first things first, now X-ray diffraction is the technique which helps us to measure A. Okay, that is your edge length. Okay, X-ray diffraction is a method used to calculate the value of A, that is your edge length. And let's say that D is the density of solid, M is the molar mass. So if we look inside a crystal lattice, we see that the volume of unit cell is A cube. Okay, because it's a perfect cube, so volume of the unit cell is A cube. Mass of the unit cell, what will be the mass? That will be simply number of atoms in unit cell into mass of each atom. Correct? Because we know that for case of simple cubic, we know the number of atoms present inside is 1. In case of BCC, the number of atoms present is 2. In case of HCP, CCP, FCP, the number of atoms present is 4. So that's why we are taking Z and into mass of each atom. Okay, this is mass of one single atom, whereas M is the molar mass. Okay, so mass of each atom, or mass of a single atom, should be molar mass divided by Na, where Na is your Avogadro's number, 6.022 into 6 10 raised to power 23. Okay, we will use this relation. Now What is density of a unit cell? Density of a unit cell is simply mass of a unit cell divided by volume of the unit cell. Mass of a unit cell is this one. Mass of unit cell is Z into M. So Z into M, whereas volume of the unit cell is A cube. A cube. Okay, and we know this M, that is mass of an atom, is simply molar mass divided by Na. So just put the value, you get density in terms of Z, molar mass, Avogadro's number, and edge length A. Okay, so this is how you calculate the density in terms of unit cell dimensions. Okay, unit cell dimensions referring to this small a here and this Z, because Z determines how many effective number of atoms are present inside. So this formula is also quite important because a lot of numericals are asked based on this formula. Okay, that's it for now. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Thanks a lot.